Hello and good morning to all the beautiful people around the world. The Asia Cup is about to kickstart today, and the big match between India and Pakistan is going to happen tomorrow. To discuss about all this, we have a special cricketer on our show, a women's cricketer for the first time on our show. She's played the 2017 World Cup final against England. She was a part of the T20 World Cup finals, which we played against Australia. She is none other than our pretty looking Veda Krishnamurthy. Welcome to the show, Veda.
Thank you so much. I just heard you say like the first women cricketer. So I think I'm privileged to be that, number one.
Oh, yes. I'll be very honest. We wanted to give a different angle. We've had male cricketers coming on. And now that women cricket is catching up so much, we had to get you on board. And we heard you in the Commonwealth Games. You were absolutely spot on in your analysis. And I'm sure all the fans would like to hear about you for the Asia Cup.
Thank you. Just something which I've been doing for the past 17 years. It sounds like a lot of years. I'm not that old. Just putting it out again. I'm not retired. That is again, I'm putting it out. But you've game, you kind of sit and watch everything, whatever's happening. And it's not because only I'm commentating, I'm watching a lot of game. It's been something since, I started playing cricket. I watch any cricket which is on TV, even the highlights, I keep watching. It's something which I really love doing. And when you're watching so much, you kind of come up with things like maybe if you are in this situation, what you would have done or what your team would have done. So that is something which has always been there for me. And I feel I'm like, lucky that way that I'm getting to call the games as well now, doing a bit of commentary in my off time. And I'm really enjoying it.
Absolutely. As you mentioned off air to me, you have to live your passion, whether you are playing or not. And when people say something, as I've always said, kuch to log kahenge, logo ka kaam hai kehna. You got to move on.
True. Very true. I mean, I completely agree to it. It kind of like, I can feel every letter, every word, what it means, especially that statement that you made.
Let me tell for the record for all viewers that Veda made her debut in 2011. It was an iconic year for India when India men's went on to win the 50 over World Cup. But now I want to ask to Veda about the 2017 Lord's final. How was that experience, Veda?
The experience was amazing. Like, when we went for the World Cup, there was not much expectations out of us because the previous 3-4 50 overs or T20, the ICC tournaments, India had really not done well. And not many knew about the World Cup happening. So thanks to ICCA, BCCI and all of them who kind of, put out huge ad boards, especially during the Champions Trophy. Champions Trophy happened just before our World Cup, and there was big hoardings in the stadium during the match where it said that Women's World Cup is going to start soon and all those kind of things. But people back here in India didn't exactly know about what was happening. And when we played the first game against England in the thing, and nobody expected us to win. And when we came back and beat the home team in the first game, there was a lot of news and buzz which was happening. And us being kind of in a shell was kind of aware that, a lot of things, a lot of talks happening around us in a positive way. Like, people are liking the way we played and stuff like that. And then it was Pakistan again, the next game, of course, as expected, there was huge crowd coming in to watch you. But the next few games, to be honest, it was not supposed to be aired on TV. And all of a sudden, even while we are playing, we get to know that it is being aired because people want to watch you guys play. So that was how, things got into the mist when we made it to the finals. We usually see crowds coming in just after toss, especially. And we went in, obviously we go an hour and a half before to the ground. When we walked into Lords, there was a lot of buzz around and we were not sure what is the noise. And that obviously the famous pavilion in Lords, you walk out and you see that there is almost, I like to say like 40% of the stadium was full, even before we entered the ground. And then people are lined outside trying to, make sure that they walk in before the toss, be there, be part of this iconic event, whatever's happening. And that kind of gave us a goosebump. Like, we went on for warming up, we couldn't hear each other. That was the first for all of us. Yes, crowds have come in later on in the game. The buzz has been there, but just before the match started, the crowd, the vibe and things like that, I think that is something which was way beyond my vocabulary to explain what exactly it is. But absolutely loved. I mean, though unfortunately we couldn't get past the line and we were short by 9 runs, but end of the day, that is something which is going to be an iconic event for cricket here in India. Especially after that, you've seen there's huge difference. There's a lot of girls who want to come and play. Immediately when we came back, when we go to academies and things like that, and you see a number of girls, the enrollment has increased, and the girls want to take it as profession. And I think I'm very proud for the fact that I was a part of such team which could bring this kind of revolution for cricket in India.
Mind you, the revolution has already come, Veda. Even though you guys have not crossed the line, but you all have made us proud, and we bow our head towards you girls.
Thank you so much.
And I have to ask you about the 2017. I know we couldn't cross the line. So near yet so far. Were there tears in the eyes?
I mean, it's just not tears. We're bowling, and it's literally like a session which happened after all. And of course, it took us a lot of time to sink it in. We were in the dressing room for close to 2-3 hours after the game. I think like 1 hour just by ourselves trying to figure out what exactly happened and sink it in. And after that, our fielding coach at that moment, he came in and he said, it's better off you tell what you felt about today rather than, you go back to your room and blame someone else so for whatever has happened, excuse me. So that was one thing. And then it was like 15 of us starting off one by one, explaining, and then like literally having tears in our eyes. It was like all of us crying at the same time. We had this thing that at that point we wanted to win it for Julan and Mithali, who've done so well. And half the disappointment was, we couldn't do it for them. That was the most consistent answer that everybody gave in that meeting. But feelings and emotions, I think that was really hard for us to take it. We went back to the room only after like 10 or 11 in the night. We were just there in the dressing room. We didn't know what to do. We were all so upset. I mean, it took me a couple of days to get back to sleep. I had a couple of friends who wanted to meet me, my childhood friends who have played cricket here in Bangalore with. So they had come to the ground and they're like, okay, we'll just meet you before we leave. And I said, you guys carry on. I don't think so we'll be coming back anytime soon. But, they were waiting there in the reception in the lobby for 4 hours, 5 hours straight, just to make sure that I'm okay. They felt that, maybe I'd need a friend at that point who would be, not say anything, not do anything. They've seen everything, whatever's happened in the game. Just be there saying that we're there for you and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, went back to the room. And just to cheer me up, they ordered some pizzas and stuff like that. Okay, you need this now. Eat some pizzas and feel better. And we were talking for until morning in that day. And it took me 2 days to get back to sleep. Like I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I could remember the way I got out. And 95% of them feel that I'm the villain of that game. So that's all the more something which I think I'm going to carry it to my grave. But nonetheless, like I said, I did what I could do. It's not that I can go back and change it at this moment, but have to live with it.
Well, I can feel in your words even now that you are feeling the pinch of that game, Veda. But life moves on. You win some, you lose some. There will be a time when Indian women will definitely cross the line, and you will be also, you can remember that I was once upon a time a part of this wonderful women's team.
Yes, definitely. I'll always be a part of it. I'll always be close to the girls. I'll always feel like, I'm there, I'm part of it. Like I said, uh, I was a part of the team, which kind of created this whole buzz around the team. So that is something which will always be there with me, regardless of whatever happens in life.
Mind you, everybody around the world now knows the names of most of the women cricketers' names. That is
I'm very
something.
happy. I'm very happy. It is not just the name now, they recognize us with the name. So there is a face every time a name is said. Uh, I mean, that's an instance. What I'd like to say is a few years ago, um, people would know my name, but they don't know how I look. Now it's like the minute they see me, they know who I am. So that is a huge, difference. Even at the airport and stuff like that, when I walk in and all these officers who check your ID, and the minute they look at my name and say, "Oh, you're cricketer," and things like that, and that is something which kind of gives me the satisfaction. Like the whole point of they have a face now to all the names. It's just not reading newspapers or hearing from someone about such cricketer, whatever. There is a face, and that is mainly because of the media presence that we've got, the opportunities we've got. The broadcasting has been brilliant in the last few years. Every game has been shown on TV. And like I said, it was 2017 what was the stepping stone for all of this. And I'm always going to be happy, satisfied, proud that I was part of that 17 World Cup team, which could bring so much changes in India for women's cricket especially.
So very well said, Veda. I have to ask you about the 2020 T20 World Cup at Melbourne. 100,000 people cheering for both of the teams. Tell us about that experience.
That was another set of experience. Again, like obviously nobody expected us to make it to the final. That's now 2 times in a row. Maybe even the Commonwealth, so 3 times in a row. People didn't expect us to make it to the finals, and we were the dark horse, doing everything right. And the day before the finals, we were actually taken to the ground half an hour early, just so that, because there was practice going on since Katy Perry was performing and stuff like that. There was a lot of things happening, and they were rehearsing. They took us half an hour before just to experience the atmosphere. They're like, you shouldn't feel out of the place when you go on the finals day with, that's such a huge stadium filled with people. So we went in, there was rehearsals happening. We met Katy Perry as well. It was fun chat, talking, interacting and stuff like that. And the next day, like, you have, you go to the ground, you do your warm-ups, and all of a sudden you're cleared from the ground, and there's a huge concert which is happening with stadium filled with people. You can't even see one empty stand, and the sound, the roar, the atmosphere what was created, I think that was extraordinary from the Australian board, the fans, the ICC, to make sure that event like this, they wanted a finale like to be a grand show, something like a men's final, or probably say something like a football scenario which they wanted to create. And we're very happy for the fact that we were able to make something like that. And of course, India making it to the finals is kind of gives a larger perspective of fans coming in. You know how people love cricket all over the world. Wherever they are, they make sure that they come in large numbers to support you. And again, the game didn't go in our favor that night, but really enjoyed for the fact that we've been part of something which was so huge. Having so many people on the stadium is something nobody has experienced apart from us two teams. So that again is something which will be very close to my heart. But I've been a part of a historical event, and it's been amazing. Like the journey after that also has been amazing. Journey to that World Cup has been amazing. So when you're expected not to do well, and then all of a sudden you break all the shackles, and then you go and stand there in the lineup when the national anthem happens, I think that kind of makes you feel really, really good.
I can understand, Veda, how it can be and what atmosphere it was. We all saw it on television. And I remember in that T20 World Cup also, you guys first beat Australia in the first game and they came back to haunt
Yeah.
you all.
Yeah, it's happened now, I think, couple of time. And when in Commonwealth we lost in Australia in the first game, we were expecting something like that happens with us as well. Obviously, it's just a broadcaster point of view, kind of try to pick up stuff and say, like, something like this happens, it'll be great. Obviously, as a player, you'll not be thinking about it. But when you're outside and looking at things in a broader perspective, all these stupid things, kind of starts to make sense to you. But unfortunately it didn't happen. But nonetheless, it's only about the intent, and the brand of cricket you play on the ground should be important. And I've been obviously very vocal about the fact that we want IPL to happen, so that we're used to of those crunch situations, how to deal with it. It doesn't happen like early. Once you put in a situation like that and you ask the girls to come up with answer, it's difficult. But we've seen Australian team, they've been playing Big Bash for years now, and they've put in situation, of course, in one tournament. I'm sure they're in that situation 2-3 times at least. And, and they kind of learn from it, the nerves, the things, the clarity, the calmness. That is something which is very, very important. And we've seen the growth of men's cricket as well. India has become a powerhouse. And IPL is one of the reasons because of that. And I'm just hoping and, being very, very optimistic for the fact that it will start very soon from next year. And this bridges and gaps what we have, we're going to fill in soon, and we're going to be a powerhouse again.
Absolutely. Absolutely, no doubt. What Veda is saying, just for the fans, once again, I want to say that IPL, when you brush shoulders with the big girls around the world, you get that experience, you get that nervy situation where you can do the jailbreak, which Australia has been doing, like the Big Bash. Anyway, Veda, the Asia Cup is going to kickstart today, and the big final, rather the big match. They say the mother of all matches. Uh, India versus Pakistan, the men's India versus Pakistan. How do you see this match going tomorrow for India?
There's a lot of emotions, especially when India and Pakistan are playing. You, as a fan, as an outsider, you don't look at it as like it's a cricket game. It's always more emotions than it, regardless of whatever you would like to say. And that is something which I have felt as well. Every time you play Pakistan, as an extra, you get extra passionate. There's extra energy which comes in, saying that, like, what is going to happen later on, I don't care, but today I want to win. Like, that is something which is always going to be there. And of course, for the fact that the previous encounter went on in such a way that India lost by 10 wickets and stuff like that, all these things definitely will be in the mind of players and will be in the mind of fans even more. Like, they're all sitting like, it is going to be like a perfect revenge that we're going to take against Pakistan at this point. Because Asia Cup, though World Cups are like the pinnacle for cricketers, Asia Cup is pinnacle for especially India and Pakistan, I'd say, because, it's always been dominated by these two countries. It's not like you have someone else to come and stamp their authority. It's been these two major houses which have always been dominating. And India, of course, will want to make things right. We've not won any major cups in the recent years, and they want to set it right. And the captaincy moving to Rohit Sharma as well. He has a point to prove. The only reason Virat Kohli was replaced because he's not won any major tournament. And Rohit Sharma will want to start it off really well, because for the fact that, following it up, we have the T20 World Cup as well, and it'll be like a perfect preparation for the team. And I'm happy for the fact that most of the boys are in shape. They've recovered from the injury, illness, everything apart from Bumrah. Of course, that will be a huge factor, that him not being available. Harshal Patel, to an extent, also we expected will make it to the Asia Cup squad, and he is injured. But on the other hand, just read the news last night, I think, that Wasim is injured, and Shaheen Shah, of course, their superstar, is not available. So kind of is in balance right now. Two superstar fast bowlers from both the countries are not available, and two upcoming fast bowlers also not available. It kind of sets the stage even now for both the countries. And I'm looking for a cracker of the game. I'm going to sit with the popcorn and be in front of India, be in front of TV and go like, go, India, just get this game, just for the satisfaction of all of us.
Oh, I can understand the passion of every Indian and rather 1.5 billion Indians
And
following
along
this
with
match.
the Pakistani fans as well, they are no less. They're very loyal, they're very loud, and they're exactly like how we are. They will also be thinking from the fact that, okay, all these years we've lost ICC matches against India. We've started winning it. Now it's time for us to, make sure, give them a taste of what they have done for us throughout the years. So it's going to be good fun. And that kind of intent what both the fans bring, no, I think it makes this match more special.
Very well said, Veda. I was with Umar Gul and in conversation with him, he did say that the monkey is off the back of the Pakistan team when they beat India in an ICC. And he feels that the inexperience of Indian bowling might come into play if Pakistan chase. You see that come?
Um, I wouldn't say inexperience because we've got Chahal who's been, bowling really well. I wouldn't say the Indian bowlers are inexperienced at this point. Of course, in that T20 World Cup, we were a little bit short with the bowlers, I would say, because Hardik Pandya was not 100% fit. There was a lot of talks happening around him, but we've got him fit now. He's been bowling well. He's been batting really well. That kind of gives an added advantage. Jadeja, Chahal, you don't see an experience there. There's a lot of experience, and they're coming off good tournament, and that is something which all of them, of course, Bhuvneshwar Kumar as well. I mean, I don't see an experience anywhere there. Probably, he might be feeling for the fact that Pakistan was able to chase in the World Cup very easily. Things are going to be different this time, though we're playing in the same country, I would say, but the time of play is different. The way teams have come off playing tournaments is going to be different. They're all a year older, year experienced, year matured. I am expecting a cracker of a game. It should be a high intensity, high scoring game. And whoever plays best cricket on that particular day is going to be someone who will be walking off with a win. And even in that game as well, in the ICC World Cup, when Pakistan beat India, it was just the level of cricket Pakistan played that day was better than what the Indians played. So I'm sure all of that will be playing in the back of both the teams, and they know for the fact that they have to really bat well, first of all, to win, and the bowling will happen simultaneously.
You're right. The experience is there in Chahal, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Ravindra, Jadeja. What he was trying to say about the fast bowlers Avesh and Arshdeep, who have just played a few handful of international, okay, they have the IPL experience. That is what he was trying to say about.
But I don't think so. I don't see them making into the 11, to be honest, because you've got Hardik, you've got Bhuvneshwar, Jadeja, and Chahal, and all of them. And obviously, probably it'll be just one of them, either Avesh or Arshdeep, who will make it. Both of them make it. I mean, I've not really sat down and, thought who would be my playing 11 for tomorrow's game. But one person is not going to make that much of a difference if with the experience kind of thing, they're just coming off good IPLs. So that was something which was not there in the previous edition. So because last year we saw that, COVID was there, the tournament got abruptly cancelled in between, and then it was moved later on in October and things like that. All that things is not going to happen now. They've all been playing cricket. They've all been playing matches, and I'm sure for the fact that things will come out in such a way. I'm just hoping that it's going to be good game of cricket. I mean, there's no inexperience here. If you're not fit enough to compete with the other team, you don't deserve to be in the Indian team. It's as simple as that, and it's same for the Pakistan team as well. Once you're on there, it doesn't matter what you are, who you are. If you've played one game, if you've played 100 game, you have to feel that you're going to be on par with your counterpart, regardless of who it is. So that is something, the mindset will be there in all of them. And Rohit Sharma is a leader who kind of brings out the best in each players. He's very calm, composed, love his tactical moves that he makes on the field, bowling changes and things like that. So this is something which, I also will be keeping an eye on, because he's obviously led India in Asia Cup before. but he was just like a stand-in captain, like when Virat was not available and things like this. Is the first big tournament for him after he is announced as all format captain. So that is pressure, and I'm very keen to see how Rohit Sharma will take that challenge.
You said you have not made your homework about India's playing 11, but I want to put you in a spot now. Let me start with the batting order, rather. What should be your batsman? Because there is some sort of a talk that whether DK and Pant play.
They have been playing both of them together, aren't they? Like they've been trying
They
to.
have been. So I want to get your viewpoint. Whom do you want to be your 6 or 7 batters?
Wait 1 minute. Let me go back into the team. Pick it up. Can I get a list?
Okay, I will tell you. We are talking about the likes of KL and
it is going to be KL, Rahul, KL,
KL
Rohit,
Rohit.
KL,
Okay.
Rohit and Virat. Obviously, there's a very big
Then you have
name.
Surya at number 4.
Surya at number 4.
You have Pant at 5 or Hardik at 6. Either way, 5 or 6.
I think it's going to be Pant at 5, Hardik at 6.
And then Jaddu at 7.
Jaddu 7.
And then you have 4 bowlers. Or do you want one more batsman? Do you want DK in the squad?
It depends on what the 4 bowlers are. Wait, Hardik, Jaddu, Chahal, Bhuvneshwar.
4. So do you want to go with 6 bowlers or you want to go with 5 bowlers?
I think they will consider Hardik and Jaddu to be the bowlers who can bowl 4 overs quota. I think they will go with DK in the squad. Just so that
they go with 5 bowlers according to you.
Yeah.
So
5,
including Jaddu and Pandya.
Yeah.
That's what you feel.
Yeah.
So you will have DK in your squad.
I will have DK in squad.
And who would be your bowler in the fast bowling apart from Pandya and Bhuvneshwar? Whom do you pick, Arshdeep or you pick Avesh?
I'd pick Arshdeep.
All right, and why?
Because for the fact that first thing is a left armer, kind of brings in a different aspect for the game. And he's bowled really well, especially in the death over with his slow one. The control that he has with the newer ball as well. He kind of moves really well. He's very consistent because Avesh Khan is someone who's not that consistent. If he goes for runs, he goes for plenty. And if he's good, if he's got a good start, then he kind of picks up wicket at the beginning. So with Bhuvneshwar, obviously will be opening the bowling, and you want someone to complement Bhuvneshwar Kumar. So I'd go with Harshdeep, and of course Chahal and Jaddu and Pandya have been bowling really well all throughout IPL, whatever games they've been playing. And the fitness of Jaddu and Hardik is something which is going to be very, very crucial for India throughout this campaign. If they have to go in with this kind of a thing that you have 5 bowlers and 6 batters, you need to great all-rounders like they are, who can do both. They can bat up the order, they can score runs, they can pick wickets. You need someone like that. If either of them gets injured, that is where the dilemma will start for India. So it is very important that these two are in sync and doing really well, because if you have Hardik, Jaddu, Rishabh and DK as your finishers, with Surya being in amazing form as he is, I think you're looking at a very dangerous batting lineup.
All right, but I have to ask you, imagine you are the captain, you are Rohit Sharma, you're going with 5 bowlers. And there is a tendency that you might have one bad day for one of the bowlers. Whom do you turn to if you play DK and don't play Huda?
See, Huda has been doing really well, nothing against him for the fact that, but sometimes what happens is you're up against such people who've done great service for the Indian team. You kind of go like, you always will have to back, because Huda, if he's going to come in, he's not going to come in place of DK for sure. If he's going to come in, it has to be a Virat or someone like a Surya or a KL. So, but the things they have done, Huda, yes, he is in form. He's been doing really well, but he just have to sit and wait for his opportunity to come in, and and that's what he's done. He's got opportunities, he's grabbed it, scored, bowled really well, but he's not going to come in place of a DK or someone like that. If probably, like I said again, if Hardik or Jadeja gets injured, Virat gets injured, the first name would be, he'll be like proper replacement would be Deepak Hooda. Either you want to bat him at number 3, or you want him as an all-rounder in between, but it's not someone you would want DK to be replaced, or DK's position what he's done, because that is something you'll have to weigh in for the fact that what Virat has done for India so long, what KL has done, what DK has been doing now in few years, that's a different role completely what Huda has been doing. Huda has been batting up the order. He's not done the finishing role. So I don't think so. This is how I would think, and this is how Rohit also would think. Just keeping my finger crossed that we match in our thoughts. But like I said, if probably something happens to any of these people, and obviously the first choice would be Huda.
All right, so Veda has announced her playing 11, and she believes this is going to be in the park tomorrow in Dubai Cricket Stadium. Now, I have to ask you this question. We all know Virat has gone through a tough time as far as batting form is concerned. India has been playing that aggressive brand of cricket in the last probably 6 months, or rather 9 months from the time Rohit has taken, where they are playing that Gungo England style of T20 cricket. Do you think it is going to be difficult for Virat to adapt to this style, or should he stick to his style of accumulating runs and then going big, or should he start going berserk from his first ball?
See, it's important that Virat obviously clears all of these things in his mind before coming in. It looks like he has a lot of things running in his head, whether to play attacking, whether to play defensive, whether to play him. But eventually, when you've got batters around you, like you've got Rohit, you've got KL. Of course, KL is more of a conventional. He kind of goes big in the end. But you've got Rohit, you've got Surya, Rishabh, DK, Hardik around you. You don't have to do anything, fancy or cute, especially for Virat. He's someone who is technically so good. He kind of, understands how to do things. He scored thousands of runs for India's, and he's done it in his own way. It's not like he's gone and become someone else. And of course, he's had lean patch in the last couple of years, but the experience that he has of playing in that pressure situation, playing against Pakistan, he's done so well against Pakistan, to be honest, apart from the last ICC World Cup. So I'm sure all of these things will be there. And for the fact that coach and captain are backing him, regardless of what it is, you are going to be our main player. And that kind of gives a confidence as well for you as a player. And hopefully we see a different approach from Virat this tournament. And to be honest, he doesn't have to do anything fancy to get runs. He just needs to make sure that he plays 10-15 balls. And when he does that, we know that how dangerous he can be. And I'm sure he will also be thinking with the likes of, all these power hitters around him. He just have to make sure that he's there, build a partnership, and ensure that, he sets that launch pad for Rishabh, DK, Hardik and Jaddu to come in and, smash in the last few overs.
I'm glad you said this, that Virat has to play the way he has scored so many runs for India and not try to adapt the style what the other players, but we'll have to wait and watch Veda what sort of innings or style is going to show in this Asia Cup. The Pakistanis, in fact, are hoping that Virat comes in form, whether it is Shaheen Shah Afridi, whether it is the leg spinner Shadab Khan, and apart from that, the whole India. So I'm sure runs are on the cards for him. Veda?
There is. It's just like one thing where he needs runs in one innings. And then you will see how it goes about for him. He'll become a different player altogether. We'll see the old Virat Kohli, what we've seen a couple of years ago, scoring every match. We all used to wonder, like, how he's managing to do that. Like, there was a period that he was scoring hundreds after hundred. Every time he's walked in and he looked like he's going to get 100. And form patches, these are very common for cricketers, I would say. It's not like he's getting unfit. It's not like he's not focusing and things like that. It's just a form, it's just a phase in his life at this point which is going on. And I'm sure he will have to find way to come out of it, because he cannot be in this situation throughout and say like, I'm going to play cricket like this. He's very competitive. The day he feels that I'm not up there, I'm not up to the mark to compete at this level, I think he will walk away and say like, I'm done, I can't do it anymore. But he still feels there's a hunger in him, that he knows that he's still the best, he can compete and things like that, and he wants to make things right. A lot of fans are waiting for him to get back in form, and that will be like a celebration. And if he does it tomorrow against Pakistan, it'll be a cherry on the cake, I'd say.
Well, Mengsarkar said he hopes for 100. Veda says this will be cherry on the cake. The Pakistanis want him to get into form. Okay, they don't want to get him to form against their team, but we'll have to wait and watch what happens tomorrow. If I have to ask you about the Pakistani team, who's the players you need to watch out for?
See, Babar is someone, every time I watch, I go, wow. The kind of shots he plays, especially obviously the cover drive. Everybody talks about Babar's cover drive, but for me, it's his back foot punch that he plays. He looks so calm. He looks so balanced when he's playing, and it's not an easy shot. When someone's bowling at 140, 145K, and you rock back as if they're bowling at 120, or they're giving you knocking, and you just rock back and time it so well. So Babar, of course, will be a big threat for India, I would like to say. And of course, I shouldn't be saying it on air. I'm glad that Shaheen is not participating. Hopefully he gets, he recovers well and get well as soon as possible, and nothing hard or nothing against him. But he's been a big threat. Like, we've seen the Indian top order against left-arm seamers especially. They've struggled a bit, be it Trent Bolt or be it him in the ICC tournament. So kind of a relief that he didn't make it. Yeah, I mean, that was something which I was very curious to see what plans Rohit and KL have come up against the left arm seamer. That would have been a great challenge. And as a cricketer, you want to learn from things and how they're going to go about. I was very keen to watch them, how they deal with the threat of Shaheen Shah. But that is something. And of course, there's a lot of other cricketers as well, like Rizwan is doing amazingly well. So that partnership, especially, first thing, as Indian fan, for me, it is like, break their partnership in the opening stand, and then we'll see what will happen later on. So that is there with us since the World Cup, that we couldn't break their partnership. So now we want to get one of their wickets, and then we'll see what to do about it.
What about Fakhar Zaman?
Fakhar Zaman.
You remember the championships trophy 100? The no ball of Bumrah?
I remember the innings he's got 199. I remember where he's come and literally changed the game. I think he's someone more like Rishabh Pantish when it comes to his game of cricket. Doesn't really care what the situation is. He is like, my way or highway. I'm going to go and play my shot. He's so strong. Can access all areas of the ground. So that is what I'm saying, right? First thing is like, you break Rizwan and Babar, and then when Fakhar Zaman comes, obviously, someone like a Chahal, who's so smart with this thing, though he's a leg spinner, but he really bowls well too, like the left-handers with his googly and things like that. So if you are asking me, I'll obviously give you all biased answer on it. I was like, okay, you tell him I want him to get out. You tell another name, I said I want him to get out, and things like that. But obviously Shadab is someone who's been doing well as an all-rounder. Like, he comes in and scores runs and bowls those nice leggies, like quicker off through the air and pushes it through. And it's quite amazing to see how the powerhouses of India and Pakistan, in world cricket, they're making statements and they're dominating, and they're saying like, oh well, we are the team to beat. If you want to set something right, you beat us and then show it to us, then we'll agree to whatever it is. So that is something which will always be there. And I can't really explain to you how excited I am for tomorrow. Like I said, there'll be popcorns and, I'll be in front of TV glued, rooting for India, saying that, come on, make this right. Just before the World Cup, we've got an opportunity to feel good about ourselves and go into the World Cup.
I don't want to scare our fans or you, but they have a new bloke in Hyder Ali who is very talented. They have Khushdil Shah and the finisher Asif Ali, who I remember at the same ground in Dubai
Asif
had
Ali.
taken.
Asif Ali. I want to talk about him. I mean, I have not seen anybody just walk in and hit sixes the way he did. And I still remember one of the innings where he was 6-7 balls and he had scored some 4-5 sixes. And I was like, oh my God, wow. Where did they find him? Like, someone who can just turn the game around. It's not like, every ball is an event. You have to make sure that you're there, present, understanding, realizing what it is. It is not about getting 2 wickets and then saying that, okay, we can run through the batting order, or you pick up 5 wickets and someone like an Asif Ali comes in and he was like, okay, right, what have I got for you? Bang, 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 sixes and stuff like that. And of course, I've watched Hyder Ali very closely as well when he made into the debut. It was a bright youngster coming in. There's a lot of expectations around him because he had scored a lot of runs in under-19 cricket and a lot of runs in quicker strike rate. That is something, is become a norm these days for people playing white ball cricket. It's not about how many runs you score. It's about how quickly you score. And Hyder Ali had consistently done that. And that was the reason he was picked as well at first go for Pakistan when he made his debut. And I mean, it's a good bunch of cricket. I always wonder, if India and Pakistan, if not for the separation and things like that, our cricket team would have been like extraordinarily amazing. Like, just imagine the likes of Sachin and Wasim Akram playing together, or things like that. So I think that is something which is always there. Like now, so imagine a Virat and Babar batting together, which obviously eventually we will not see anytime soon. Shaheen Shah bowling with Bumrah. So that is something which always feel the kind of skill, the kind of talent we produce, in India and Pakistan, you cannot match those skill level anywhere else. Maybe you will find a lot of grit, confidence, self-belief in players in like Australia, England, where they're ruthless and they think like, we are the best and, have that kind of an attitude. But pure skill from the time you're young, like you just give, there are few people they just hold back and automatically they're so natural. Like, they look like, they're born to play cricket. You don't see that often with the other countries, but India and Pakistan is two talented, rich countries, so skillful. You look natural athletes on the field. You look like you're there, you're born to play cricket. And that is something which is very amazing and very fascinating. It might be because, we're very close in the borders, as well as few waters which we share, few things that we share, but it's in us, I would feel. I mean, we've even in women's thing also, like, the skill level of Pakistan, the skill level of India, you don't see it anywhere else. But yeah, I mean, it's very, very fascinating. I hope someone is watching this, someone who does research, like scientists and things like that, they come up with an actual answer why we are so naturally skilled and naturally so talented when it comes to especially sport like cricket.
Well, that I can see the exuberance of Veda here. She hopes that had the borders not been made to see Indians and Pakistan play together, who knows, one day we will have them in the IPL, we'll have the test matches, and we get to see the best of best.
Definitely, I hope so. Like, always have to sit back and hope for the betterment of cricket. And that is something, it'll happen when all of us are in it together. So don't like for the fact that there's a lot of separation and stuff like that. Everybody wants to be playing every format, every tournament. And hopefully, somewhere down the line in future, we'd see something like that.
Okay, now I have to ask you my final question of the day. It's been a
India.
lovely conversation.
India. Who's going to win the
let me
match?
complete.
India.
Let me complete my question, Veda. Last year in Dubai, most of the teams won the matches batting second. That was the whole norm. Even the eventual champions, Australia, they won all batting second. When Pakistan beat India, New Zealand beat India batting second. If India lose the toss, who's going to win the match?
India.
All right. We have that from Veda, a fanatic Indian fan, a bullish Indian fan. And I love that. And why shouldn't you be supporting your own country? That's how it should be. When you love your country, you will support India irrespective whether they bat first, they bat second. They are the talent, and you have to back them.
Exactly. That's why I said, whatever your question is, my answer is going to be India. That's why I was prepared. And
So you
said,
knew this. I should have probably tweaked something else and asked you the question. Nonetheless, Veda, it was lovely having you on our show. This is not a big show like the Star Sports or the Sony 6. This is a small little show which I love and live for my passion. And I have people like you on my show.
I mean, I'm pretty upset that you mentioned it's not a big show like Star or Sony. Why not? You have to just feel that it is a big show, and like what you're doing for your passion, like you said, I think it's amazing, and I hope that this grows way beyond anything that you have your imagine or you've set your goals, and hopefully we do it together in the future, and you tomorrow and then the end of the day when you look at it, you'll be like happy with what you've done.
I will be, Veda, definitely. God has been kind and we hope to do many more shows with you. Thank you for your time. Pleasure to have you, and we'll be having Veda throughout all the India games and see where India goes the distance. Veda is quite bullish. India will go the distance. Lift the Asia Cup. We'll have to wait and watch.
Definitely. Thank you so much. I had great fun. Hope to see you soon. Probably after the Pakistan game, where I'm going like India, and the next show I'll be like, I told you, regardless of what it is, India is going to win. So hopefully, it's going to be a very amazing game. Good cricket played all around, and it's kind of sort of entertainment what all of us fans want from both the teams.
Great, Veda. Take care of yourself and look forward to catch up with you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.